Luis, welcome to the Colorado Food Magazine. We're here with Chef Luis Gurrulo. Welcome to the Colorado Food Magazine. We're going to talk about a few different things. We're going to talk about you participated in the Hispanic Top Chef 2022, placed second. But you got like best appetizers or best...
That's right.
And then a couple other items. I just know you as a great chef, especially over the past few months. I know we got you featured on like CBS and couple other things for our Hispanic Restaurant Week last week. But so welcome to the show. We're here to talk about your history, what it's like being a chef, what inspired you to become a chef, and then all things chefing. So welcome.
Nice. Thank you for having me today.
So tell me about what inspired you to cook.
First and foremost, I've been cooking for about 8 years now. But back when I was little in Mexico, I did grow up in Mexico and I came over here when I was 13. So part of me when I was 13, I would always be around my mom and grandma. And I would be always a food guy where it'd be like, okay, there's leftovers, give them to me.
Oh, so you were quality control, taste tester.
That also had to do a big thing with it.
And they wanted, so what made you, what was the epiphany? What made the light bulb go off?
It started when my grandma, she would always not just cook for her sons, she would kind of cook overall as a family. So when there was food, she would be like, okay, now tell Luis to come over and eat. Now tell his other cousin to come over and eat. So at one point, it would be like a small little family gathering where the whole family would sit down and eat out of my grandma's. So and every day would change, but it would always be the same ingredients that were locally grown that we always had. She would love sharing her beans, locally grown, that we'd grown ourselves. We had a farm our own eggs. My grandma had chickens every day in the morning. First thing we do, if we wanted eggs, we had to go pick them up ourselves. We did
Really were farm to table back then.
Oh yeah, that was the most close farm to table experience I ever got. Also, in our part of a family, we did grow our own bean and corn.
Oh, you did?
So yeah, so that was pretty interesting. That was something we always had to eat. Like beans were always part of our meal. Every day, 24/7. Like I grew up around beans.
Right, and I know I'm going to segue where we're going to come back. You're one of the chefs participating in Bee Summit 2 here coming up March 2nd from 10 to 2 here at the Elks Arvada Lodge, which you're also going to be on the chef panel. And specifically, we selected you for that because what you just said. You grew your own beans, grew your own corn, you grew your own, what was the other one?
I had to pick my own eggs. And as well as people know them as nopalitos, they're the fruit of the cactus. We had to go pick them out on the bucket, put them in water, clean them, and that's what you boil to make any recipes with it. So everything that we ate, for the most part, was locally grown.
Really?
Yeah.
So everything was literally farm to table.
Right. Or that when we had chicken soups, we had to obviously cure one of our own chickens type of deal.
So how does that affect moving forward how you cook now as a chef?
So that got me familiar with a lot of basic ingredients, and I noticed that there's so many different things and so many recipes that could come from beans, not just by boiling them. So that kind of got me the adversity of experimenting with different ingredients. So now what could I put into the beans to make them a little better? And so now they're just not plain beans.
Right. I noticed the recipe we just filmed before this, and you're going to exhibit at the Bean Summit 2. One of those was a chorizo bean dip.
That's right. For the Bean Summit, I will be competing with pinto beans, and my dish will be an elevated chorizo bean dip. And I will be using fresh Colorado pinto beans for it.
That was beautiful. Obviously, us quality control got to taste that. Everybody's going to love.
Oh, yeah. Fresh beans also have something to do with them, sure.
Oh, yeah. Exactly. So let's go back to what else moving forward would you bring forward from her growing up?
So mainly, part of me always liking food, I would support local. I've always been a big fan of, there's a small little corner store or small little lonchera, food truck, because from my perspective, that's their job. That's what they're trying to sell for a living. So if by a little $5 gordita, if that gets me feeling happy, those $5 would make a difference for them. So I always like supporting local. So by supporting local, I kind of got the idea. I'm like, oh, I could kind of be one of them who gives out, offers my food, so that way I could see other people enjoy my food, and I also become one of those local vendors.
Oh, very nice, very nice. And so you carry that forward. I know you're going to be one of the chefs participating in our incubator model, Phantasmic Eats, which we'll be launching soon.
That's right. That's actually one of my dreams come true, because just like I said, I've always been a big fan of supporting local, and you guys' main topic it's concentrated in the Hispanic Association. So you guys, by focusing on our Latinos or our people, it's sort of a big advantage that we always look forward to, and having you guys as a backup bone in the HRA in the support mechanism, I think we have a pretty good shot.
Oh, yeah, I think we do it. Oh, it's a great model. We're going to have you, Pablo, Manny, Zuri, Mario. I mean, our whole support network is in support of, this people in incubator model called Phantasma Eats, which means ghost in Spanish.
That's right.
And so our goal is to provide that model and whole mechanism.
That's right.
From the finances to the kitchen support to the labor support, and making sure everything is there for that. So,
yeah, and also part of the reason that made me become a chef is that I really like to see when other people enjoy my food.
oh yeah, I see that.
So that not only brings them happiness to them, but it makes me happy.
So it really is an extension of you.
Right. So yeah, I do also offer sometimes caterings of my own. So when I do that, it just expands my people. I just get to know more people, and most of my events come from word to word.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Best.
So
Marketing.
so exactly. So what I was thinking, okay, well, word to word, that means I must be doing something right.
Oh yeah, absolutely right. You're a magnificent chef. I mean, everything. We did some pre-planned meals last week, testing.
Few samples,
Yeah, that was fantastic. I love your fettuccine Alfredo.
Alfredo.
Well, all of it was good, but that was my favorite. I'm not saying it for the sake of saying it, but I've said this before we even did this podcast. That was the best fettuccine for Alfredo I've ever had.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Glad to hear. It's my own inspired recipe.
Oh, it is your own?
Yeah.
So, okay, you wouldn't give me the secret ingredients. But what about, you participated in Hispanic Top Chef a couple years ago, year and a half.
Yeah. So, as a matter of fact, that was the first Hispanic Top Chef for the Hispanic Restaurant Association, and it went better than I was planned.
Oh, good. You placed second place. It was magnificent.
Yeah. They were able to provide us with ingredients of a variety of ingredients for local. Also, they made it interesting by giving us a secret box, and we also had a deadline of a time. They gave us an hour. We had to cook 3 different dishes. So for sure there was a little bit of pressure in there, but overall, of course I could have done better. But I'm pretty excited, of course. But I'm still happy with my placing.
Oh yeah, we were happy. Obviously, you're from that Necio Mexican Kitchen, and which is well known here, and always booked and busy, and one of the favorite restaurants here in your part of town.
Yeah. So Necio, I've been there for 4 years, and just like any other chef, I started washing dishes.
Oh, you did?
Yeah. So. Yeah, so I would go to high school, and right after high school, as soon as I turned 15, I wanted to have, of course, a little bit extra money for my lunches and here and there. So it happened to be at the right time when they started My Vision company, My Vision Nutrition. So I started being their dishwasher, and from a dishwasher, I bought my own knife because I seen that the chef had a really nice knife. I was like, that's pretty cool. Like, I want one just like yours, because I know soon I want to help you. Just like you're cutting stuff, I want to help you do that. So he's like, okay, that's fine. So I told him, I'm like, when can I help you? Because I really wanted to move on from the dishwashing machine, because I was like, hey, I know I could do this. What's next? Like, I want to keep learning. So he's like, okay, well, now I spent 1 full week cutting vegetables, 6 hours a day. Just here, Luis, cut this. Trust me, I got a blister on my finger from that whole week. So after that, I was like, well, this is you need to prep in order for you to cook. So this makes sense. Okay, now show me how you're gonna use these vegetables that I already pre-cooked for you. So now let's put it together. So as we went together, he happened to show me how, of course, the food preparation, and I was self-taught after that.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
So everything you know?
yeah. So I was taught to prepare, and that happened just like any other business. The other chef left, and I was technically just left with the whole operation left by myself, just being the dishwasher and the prep cook.
And you created all those dishes?
And yes, I did happen to. Once I started being self-taught, I did a little bit of research of my own. Okay, I started reading recipe books, and after high school, as I started working freshman year. After 4 years of high school, I attended MSU for restaurant management. I was there for a year and a half. I happened to drop out for COVID, for the pandemic, because I did not like online classes. Part of my homework was to the teacher to be watching me chopping onions. So I was like, I'm not learning nothing from here. I need to be hands-on experience. So I kind of left off the school route for a little bit, but I did study restaurant management for.
Oh, very good. I don't know why you're so good over there. No, that's good. But I know they rely on you a lot from both sides.
Right, yeah. So part of my goal is to go back and finish somewhere on the restaurant business route.
Okay, well,
Yeah.
they're one of our sponsors. They've helped us. We've used Fid the First Top Chef.
Oh yeah, they do have a great facility. MSU's facility, it's great. They have everything that you need, and they have everything, all tools for you to be successful.
Well, we'd love for you to finish there. We'll see we'll talk about that.
Yeah,
Get you back in the pipeline.
yeah,
So that would be great. As I know Jimmy over there, will do a good job, and Jason and the whole staff getting you back in there if that's something you want to do. We'd love to help you. Get you back on that college platform.
yeah. Fair enough.
Well, cool. So let's talk a little bit about the Bean Summit. Let's talk about that recipe you did.
Okay, well now I'm a little bit more excited than you are, John, because let me tell you, I get to work with beans. So I'm really familiar with beans, and one of my main recipes will be an elevated chorizo bean dip, and it consists of basic ingredients. It has fresh Colorado pinto beans. You just get to boil that with fresh onion. Once it's boiled, you will need chorizo, lard, known as manteca, and asadero cheese to top it off, known as mozzarella cheese. With those simple ingredients, you'll have one of the best bean dips.
Oh, I know, I did have it. That was really, really good. I was like pleasantly.
Also, part of that recipe that I like is that you could always use it on burritos, breakfast, or even dips just by itself. It's really good. I like it. One of my favorites.
So what does the future look like for you? What do you want to do long term? In a perfect world, you're a restaurant. What do you want to do? You want to...
So, as of right now, looking at the future, I do see myself putting a lot of my priorities into Fantasma Eats. Not just because something that you've been looking forward to get that rolling, but that's something that I've been wanting to do for a long time, but I haven't had the full resources to do so. So by you having us by your side, that's another step to our ladder, where you give us everything that we need to operate.
Oh, very good. Yeah, but it's supposed to be an end-to-end. We help you find a kitchen that's inexpensive. We help you with all the recipe development. You've already done that. You already know that. But the business side of it, the numbers side of it, and the marketing side. I'm looking forward to it. I mean, you've been spent a lot of time here in the past 2 weeks doing different things for Fantasma Eats, and I'm looking forward to your success. What do you, you've been involved with the HRA for about a year, and now the past few months, you've really starting to get more involved as the Chefs Association. How can we better support you?
Looking at it from a perspective where looking for support kind of just means that we know that as Latinos, getting into a kitchen and getting our name out there might be a little hard. So most of your support will be coming from getting mostly the advertising and marketing side of it,
Telling people about you.
telling people about us, getting our name out there. That's our main struggle, not just for restaurants, but for Latinos, because we want to get our name out there. That way people know about us, but not mainly about us, about our food.
Oh, very good. Yeah, I can definitely do that. And I've had the pleasure of eating all this great food produced by your chefs the past couple of years. It's been pretty amazing. What other, trying to think, and talked about who inspired you. We talked about, your Hispanic Top Chef experience. And obviously you're going to help us, open up, Fantastic Meats. Talk about your brand, Chef Luis's Kitchen. And
The goal here for Chef Luis's Ghost Kitchen will be to have minimum of 2 concepts. One will be ready to go, where you could just go online and just order your food. Will be just ready for
like pre-planned meals?
pre-planned meals. Now, if you want the same meal for your family, guess what? You could get it. You could get a ferro fettuccine for yourself, but you could also get it as a family pack.
Oh, very nice.
But now, if you don't want to go that route, I will also be offering fajita night and taco bar night. Taco night bar will consist of 2 meats, asada and pastor, and that will of course come with your beans and rice and tortillas. When you buy the meats, the condiments will automatically come with it. So that will be
Really thought this through.
so that will be part of the family pack. We'll have a family night pack with fettuccine, whoever wants the pasta night. If you guys want the Mexican night, you could go with chicken or steak fajitas. If you're feeling yourself like you want to have some good tacos, and then I would recommend for you to go with the taco night.
Okay, well, cool. I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah, so that would be. I'm also thinking about my families where they could, when they don't have nothing to cook or no ideas, they could just pick up a box, and that would feed 6 to 8 people.
Oh, very nice.
Now, otherwise, you want to just come pick up for yourself. You're more than happy to do so. You just meals by the go. You grab them as many as you want, throw them in the microwave for about 2 minutes, and you'll have a fresh meal.
Okay, fair enough. That sounds good to me. I'll order one for myself.
Nice. Oh, looking forward.
Any other things you want to talk about? HRA, we already talked about Fantasma Eats, your family, your history. I know you're obviously going to get some attention here with the Bean Summit. You're going to be on the chef panel too.
Right, yeah, I'm looking forward to working with the Bean Summit just because I'm going to be offering fresh beans from locally growners that are going to be from Colorado. And my goal is to use all beans. That way our people get to try all the different varieties, not just one. So that when the goal here is also to promote their beans, right, because they're great beans as well.
Okay, cool. Well, thank you for coming on. Appreciate everything you do.
Thank you. Thank you guys always for having me. Happy to work with you guys.